second question is asking you to, so we have the following table shows the median age of Canada's population from 1975 to 2000. Okay, so you see that the year is 1975, and then it's going up all the way to 2000. And then this is the average, or the median, actually, the median age of Canada's population. Use a graphing technique to create a scatter plot of the data, and draw a rough sketch of your scatter plot here and describe any trends. So we're using Excel, as I said. Now, what we're going to do, any questions like this, when you have a question like this, and then you have, so what we have to do first is we have to make sure that your 1975, that's your first year, okay? So that's your year 0, and everything after that, they're gonna go up by as many, how many years it's going up by. So if this is 1975, then that's year 0, then this is year 5, year 10, 15, 20, 25. So how many years from your year 0 has it been going? Okay, so whenever you have the year, the first year is going to be your year 0. Okay, so if you look at this, 1975, instead of entering 1975 in Excel, we're gonna enter 0. So write 0 on top of 1975. So write 0 on top of 1975. From 1975 to 1980, that's 5 years. So we're gonna write 5. And then to 1985, that's 10, 15. So you see that it's going up by 5, right? 20 and 25. Okay? The year is going to be on your x-axis, and the age is going to be on your y-axis. Okay? So, I want you to look at the Excel sheet that I have on the board. Okay, can you see that? All right, so on the A, we're gonna put the X's, okay? So on the A, we're gonna put 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. On the B, we're gonna put the ages. So always on the A, you put the X, and on B, you put the Y values. What are the B values? Can you, because I can't see them.
27.4.
27.4.
29.1.
Uh-huh.
31.0.
Uh-huh.
32.9.
Yep.
34.8.
Yep.
And then 36.8.
36.8.
8. Sorry. Yep.
Okay. So, when you enter all of this, can I get you to pay attention to what we need to do when we're graphing? So, to graph, you're going to highlight the points. And then you're going to see the word insert on the top. So you're going to press the insert. And then a list of different graphs and different things are going to appear. So can I have your attention here? So you see these are the different types of graphs. We're going to pick scatter plot. So if you look at the last type right here, so if you press on it, it shows you a different list. The first one. So I just want the points. I do not want anything else. I just want the points, and you should have a graph with points. Yeah. Okay. Now, you see that my points are a bit shifted up, okay? So that doesn't give me a good representation of my graph, right? If you want, you can keep it like this, but if you also want, you can change the axis scale, Okay, so instead of starting from 0, I can start from 20 if I want to. So if I want to, this is not a must, this is just to make it look prettier, okay? And to do this, if you look at the screen, so you're gonna double click on the axis, you'll see this list coming up, okay? Again, this is not a must do, right? This is just to make it look prettier. And then you can start, let's say, the minimum. You can start the minimum at,
Okay, what do you press on?
Yeah.
huh?
I don't know what to press on.
You press on the y-axis twice, on the numbers twice. Double click, okay? And then you see the minimum. You can start the minimum if you want at 20. And then you see how the graph shifts, okay? So again, double click, and then for the minimum, you're gonna change it from 0 to 20,
I see color.
huh?
See, mine's not double clicking.
Okay, so sometimes you have to kind of, can I have this for a second? Okay, so if I double click on this, you see how this came up?
What would you click on again? Sorry.
So this right here, double click. On the y-axis,
Oh, there it is.
okay? And then you can change that to 20, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you do that, it changes the graph. You see how it shifted down? Just press the X. See the X in the corner?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now this is not the important. This is just to make it look prettier. You don't have to do that. The important part is anytime you graph anything, you need to put titles on your X and Y axis and on title of the graph. So if you look at that plus sign in the corner, right? You see that plus sign in the corner of the graph? You see, you'll come up with a list, add axis title. So the second one, you're gonna press it. So we'll show you axis title. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, do you wanna look at the screen? So we're gonna press on the axis title down here, and then we're gonna highlight it. And then the x-axis is the years since, what was it? Since what year? 1975. So it's important to say that because year 0 represents 1975. Okay? And then what was my y-axis? Median age, right? Okay? And then for the chart title, what would you want to give it a title for the chart? What does this graph represent? The median age of Canadian, the median age of Canadian population since 1975, right? So these three things I always look for when it comes to graphs, okay? The y and x-axis and the title. So this plot, or these dots, it's called a scatter plot, okay? Are we good until now? Okay, now, here's what I want you to look at. I want you to look at the screen. You see how these are dotted line that look like they're on a linear function, right? They look like it's a straight line, correct? So, there's two different ways that you can enter a line of best fit, okay? One way is to press on that plus again, and You see that trend line at the bottom? You can do that. But this is not my favorite way because then you have to press that key and then you have to pick. So this is my favorite way. I'll show you my favorite way. So I'm gonna remove that trend line, okay? My favorite way is to press on one of the points and right click. When you press on one of the points and right click, you see that add trend line? Okay, press it on that add trend line. So right click, add trend line. You should see a list on the right hand side with the different types of functions, correct? For this one, we're gonna pick linear because we know it shows like it's a line, right? It's a straight line. So we're gonna pick linear. Then at the bottom, look at the bottom. It says display equation on chart. Check that. And when you do that, you see an equation that looks like y equals mx plus b, correct? Okay. Also, you'll see at the bottom, display r squared value on the chart. We were gonna display that too. And I'll tell you why we need to display that. So you're gonna always press these two, display equation on chart, display r squared on chart. Are we good with that so far?
Yeah.
Now, can you look at me for a second? You see that r squared value, which is 0.9995? Okay? It's almost very, very close to 1, right? The 1 means the line is fitting your points perfectly. Okay? So that means this line that we just created is fitting our data 99.95%, which is very, very close to 100%, right? So that means that's a good fit. The closer that number is to 1, the better it is. Okay? So if let's say I got a line that's like 95%, it's not that good. Okay? Compared to this one, which is 99. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? All right. So you see that now I created a scatter plot with a line of best fit, with an equation, with an r squared. Everything is perfect. Now how do I copy this on my Word document? Because most of the time I'm going to ask you when you do the assignment, I'm going to ask you to copy this on a Word document. Can I have your attention here? If you actually go and right click on this and copy and paste into Word document, you can do that. But what happens is when you come and change your data to graph your next graph, it will change in the Word document as well. Okay? Because they're connected. So here's what I want you to do when you're doing the assignment for me. Look at, so you're going to go to your Microsoft list. Okay? Look, you can look at the screen. So go to your home, whatever you call that. And then you're gonna search for the snipping tool, okay? Do you know, have you used the snipping tool before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so snipping tool is one of my favorite tools because I can take pictures, snip them. So you can search for snip or snipping, and then you'll see the snipping tool that looks like this. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Press on it. So when you press on it, this is what's gonna happen. Once this page appear, what you can do is you highlight anything that you want to take a picture of. So basically, I'm taking a screenshot of the graph. Okay, so I'm going to redo it. So go to the snipping tool, search for snipping, and then do you want to see what I'm doing or you're okay? So once this appears, you can just literally take a screenshot.
Right click or left click?
You don't. You left click. Let me see what you're doing. Look at snipping. Okay, press on the snipping tool. Okay. Press new. Okay. Now.
Now you do it like
Yeah.
this?
Exactly. Okay. Now, when you take the picture, you can right click on that picture, and then you can say copy. Okay. Now I can right click on the picture and I can say copy. And I can go to any Word document. I can open a new Word document. And then I can paste it. Okay? so now, no matter what happens in your Excel sheet, this graph is not going to be affected. Just Control V. Did you copy? Did you
Yeah.
copy this one?
Mhm.
Try again. Try and go copy. Okay, go to the Word document.
Okay.
There. Are we good with that?
Mhm.
Okay. So not only we learned how to graph, how to find the equation of the line, okay, and then we learned how to snip it. So it's still right here. It's right here.
Oh, it's okay.
Just copy. Right click and copy.
Oh,
Okay. So you're gonna be doing an assignment on like Word document and Excel. Okay. You're gonna be using these. Are we okay? All right. Now, let's try to solve the question because this is basically part of the question. So let me go back here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip the graph here as well. So this, you don't have to do this. I'm just going to do this. Okay. All right. Can we go to the next equation? So it's asking to determine the equation. Okay, now you don't need the